The Soul of Activism, Why People Get Mad 1. Chapter 1. Can we live better than this? Are we free? Do governments help us? 1. We live in bondage to our governments even though we're taught that we're free. They make the rules. They tell us what to do. They make us pay taxes. They violate our inherent rights as free individuals by telling us to do things that have no effect on anyone else but ourselves. They tell me to wear a seatbelt in a car. I have to wear a helmet when I ride a bike. I can't help a friend with Parkinson's disease let go to be with the Lord even though he's in constant pain and wants to die. He says he has served his purpose in life. He should be allowed to take a drink that will put him to sleep where he'll pass. He says there is nothing wrong with that if there is nothing left of your body that feels strong and good. We are not allowed to pay money for organ donations, sperm donations, egg donations, or baby adoptions even though this would greatly help these processes. People want to use anti-aging drugs and steroids but they're not allowed to. I can't use recreational drugs in my house in private. People can't hire each other for sex services. If I want to bake cakes in my kitchen and sell them to neighbors, I'm not allowed unless I follow a bunch of business and health regulations. Tax agents routinely accuse hard-working people of tax evasion. The government spends money spying on its own citizens. Governments routinely spend money on a military force when there is no enemy in sight. Why are people poor in wealthy nations? Why do some people feel like the government is an evil force that is trying to control us? Why do some of us feel that we have no say in government even though we supposedly live in democracies? We were taught that democracy is the process of electing representatives who go to some chamber where they supposedly create ideas for the betterment of humanity. The truth is that they set high salaries and pensions for themselves. They only work about half a year for a few hours a day when they're in session. They do the bidding of rich, powerful people because they fund their election campaigns then further compensate them to pass laws their way. One measly vote every 4 years to elect a bunch of people out for themselves has not solved our problems as a society because as soon as you separate some people from everybody else, treat them special and give them the power to manage your life, you're inviting the corruption of greed, power, and money. The typical scenario in partisan politics is that the people in any political party think they're the noble, righteous ones and the people in the other parties are vain, stupid, petty, greedy, and even evil. The lesson of Chaucer's Canterbury Tales from the Middle Ages is that you can't trust anyone in a position of power. Corruption is normal. Almost everyone is a hypocrite. Morally good philosopher kings are the exception. I studied Machiavelli's The Prince as a young man. I've been in enough groups to know ego reigns supreme in modern Western society. It's the way we're brought up, to compete, beat everybody else and stand on the podium alone. Because of this, people always fight within groups not because they're fighting for a cause where they sincerely want to help people but because they have big egos. They want to look witty and win the own-upmanship games. Parliaments are geared for ego. Political parties are structured to fight each other for power no matter what. The morality or goodness of any issue is usually irrelevant. It's a fight to beat the other guys no matter what. The parliamentary chamber as a group is insulated from the rest of society. They give themselves too many benefits. The only few people who control the power in any representative government are the party leaders and their top few insiders. The people who own the political parties behind the scenes. The people who fund the political parties, which are big companies and organizations. The shadow elements that run the big government agencies. Watch any elected chamber in the world. They're all well-fed, fashionable, well-groomed, and leisurely about whatever they are supposedly doing to help the people. I don't see much love, intensity, passion, or urgency. Anybody who is truly good would be fighting endlessly and tirelessly to help end poverty and homelessness. There is a saying that politics is the playground of the rich. It's where people go to hobnob with socialites and celebrities, play games of wit and attend social events. It's a fun life funded by taxpayers. What are they doing to help people versus what is theatrics done for ego's sake? Are we free? Do governments help us? 2. We have allowed ourselves to be brainwashed by the lie that so-called representative government is democracy. We gave our power away to politicians who are basically selfish to greedy to evil people who spend most of their time fighting each other for total control of the government. So-called modern-day representative democracies are run by big political parties. They aren't run by politicians. They're the front people picked by the party owners to do their bidding. Politicians have to brown-nose them to get the nomination, then after being funded to win an election, they owe allegiance to the people behind the scenes running their party. The political parties are monster machines run by people with motives similar to the profit motive of for-profit corporations. The few political parties that exist in any nation have all the power. They take turns running the country. After they win an election, the people behind the scenes who run the big political parties pass laws for their corporate sponsors. This is serial temporary dictatorship. Their mentality is to expand the wealth and power for themselves, even if it means plundering the natural resources and polluting the land. Big business almost always wins even when the majority of people are against something like bailing out bankers, a pipeline, fracking, military spending, etc. They use the Constituent Information Management System, CIMS, to try to find emotionally hot issues that will get them a lot of votes. They'll do surveys paying several hundred people about $20 each to answer 50 to 400 questions, then analyze the results to see what the people seem to be interested in as a group. From this, they will develop their campaign issues and target the people they think will vote for them if these voters were to hear something beneficial about a specific issue directed at them as an election promise. They also look for sweeping issues that everybody seems to be concerned with. The soul of the people is generally national prosperity, jobs, equal opportunity, a bountiful society, health, medical services, housing, food, care of the poor, old, and disabled people. A sense of meaning and vision, optimism for a better future. Low crime. Feeling like a part of society, united to work together for the betterment of all. Nowadays being elected is almost like winning the lottery. It's usually a step up in salary, the pension is incredible if you win 2 elections, and it's great for networking connections. It doesn't matter which political party is in power. The system is structured so that the same set of elitists rule regardless of which party wins the election. The Founding Fathers wanted us to revolt when the elitists got too corrupt. We should be creating our own ideas and voting on them online. We have no way to stop the politicians if they pass some bill that the vast majority of people would vote down if they were voting on it. If some citizen goes to his or her local representative with a complaint or idea, they are routinely blown off with a form letter saying, "Thank you for your input." We receive many ideas, tips, and complaints. We do our best to address them all. That's the depth of the typical representative encounter between politician and constituent. The parties spend virtually all their time fighting each other for dominance. Are we free? Do governments help us? 3. Throughout history, a bunch of peasants died trying to free themselves from kings, tyrants, and colonial masters. Since the start of the Industrial Revolution right up until today, workers get arrested, beaten, and killed trying to strike for better working conditions. In the 1950s and 60s, Black people rioted for civil rights. Hippies held peace protests to try to stop war. Women marched for equal rights. On a hot August night in 1968, gays fought back against bullying cops who tried to arrest them for lewd conduct at the Stonewall Bar on Christopher St. in New York City, even though they were inside, out of public view. Latino farm workers are still fighting for a living wage. All these fights eventually end up in government chambers controlled by politicians whose interests we can't trust. The women didn't get their Equal Rights Amendment. There is still no peace. Gays still can't marry legally in half of the world. The minimum wage is low. Corporations get free trade laws to trash manufacturing industries here at home so that they can hire peasants in poor countries. The Occupy movement failed because they did not have a clear, simple specific demand of what they wanted to change about society that was actually feasible and could work. Right now in our so-called representative democracies, citizens have no power to walk into Parliament or Congress and say, "I have a good idea, I want you to vote on it." The citizens cannot gather in Congress and say, "We don't like that law you just passed." Let's all of us citizens in the nation vote to see if a majority of the people are against it. The people have no legal power to change what Congress does. I'm anti-military and anti-national security. I believe a peaceful nation doesn't need these things. I think all that money spent on them would build up our infrastructure enough so that every citizen lives at a decent, modest standard of living. The idea to get rid of the military and national security agency will never be entertained by the existing system of government because it seems unpatriotic. The way to solve political corruption is to get rid of politicians. This will get rid of the lobbyists who will have no one to bribe and seduce anymore. You still need a few politicians, but you can get rid of most with an online voting agency and an ombudsman agency where civil servants become objective representatives in every riding. They're not celebrities like politicians are. They simply help the people who come see them in their office. No big theatrics in the House or Senate. Are we free? Do governments help us? 4. Pork barrel spending happens when a politician gets money to spend on something in his or her riding that's usually useless, like a politician getting a bridge built to an island that has about 100 summer cottages on it owned by wealthy people. Some political leaders have big egos. Fighting poverty, homelessness, or creating a daycare program is not sexy enough for them. They are looking for big projects or a big war that they think are glamorous and will make them enter the rarefied category of great, legendary leader. As a result, lots of money is wasted on questionable, frivolous ideas. In 1969, NASA supposedly created spaceships that went to the moon. President Nixon declared a battle on poverty in 1969. NASA and poverty are still here. An honorable government would focus on helping the people first. Open-ended scientific exploration without a definite purpose for curiosity's sake is fun if you have the wealth and leisure to do it, but if you have poor people, help them first. Government is supposed to exist to help people. What do they need the CIA for? How many laws exist that the people would vote down if they were to vote on them as individuals one by one? In any capital city in any country in the world, they spend billions of dollars on nice buildings, parks, museums, parties, etc., while there is poverty somewhere in the country. If the citizens of any nation had the power to vote on whether to let oil companies do oil drilling off their coasts without stringent safety rules, would they have allowed BP to drill in the Gulf of Mexico? The result was an oil spill that continues to destroy many people's lives. The guy at nukefree.org says the Pacific Ocean is a big radiation cesspool because of the destroyed Japanese nuclear plant. There is really only one ocean on the entire planet. People who really need help: SRE. Homeless people. Disabled people. Poor seniors. Sick seniors. Working families needing daycare. Young people paying for schooling. Children in grade school. If politicians were wise philosopher kings, we would live in utopian societies by now, because it's not hard to know what the right thing to do is. Every capital city is a party town where federal employees live comfortable lives and have fun on the taxpayer's dime. If you go to any capital city bubble in the world and get a feel for the pulse of the people there, you will soon sense an atmosphere of leisurely excess. Government employees and the businesses that service the government are all living comfortable lives. This is the way it works in every capital city in the world, regardless of how poor the country might be. New government programs and departments create new jobs all the time. The growth industry is government bureaucracy. They're having a great time spending money on their new offices, partying after work, driving their nice cars, while the common folk work hard every day, most of them oblivious to this massive squandering of taxpayer money going on in plain sight. The people in the capital city bubble do not care about the pain and suffering of the citizens in the rest of the country. If they did, they would urgently work to solve homelessness and poverty, but they don't. They want the party to keep going on non-stop. The politicians are surrounded by a permanent silent power elite made up of 1. Senior civil servants. 2. Military generals. 3. professional consultants hired to run some departments and agencies. 4. Corporate executives who provide products and services to the government. 5. Big corporations and organizations that want the politicians to make laws for them. I do not see any urgency, intensity, or passion coming out of any politician to help the most powerless people in our society, the homeless, the poor, and the disabled. The unemployment rate could be zero because there are so many things we could do to help people and build up the economy, but nothing much ever gets done. Are we free? Do governments help us? 5. When they stall on a bill, the lobbyists and corporations continuously shell out big bucks to try to get those big ideas to go their way, either get rid of them or make them laws. Once a big bill or big idea becomes law, a big infrastructure has to be built around it. This can easily cost billions of dollars, like the expansion of Homeland Security in the United States in the past 10 years. It's party time for all of them. Politicians can get paid on the sly in many different ways, like 1. Campaign contributions from the companies that build this infrastructure. 2. A cushy job with one of these companies after they leave politics. 3. Their relatives get cushy jobs with these companies. 4. They get stock options from these companies. 5. They are given insider trading advice. 6. They are given gifts or straight-up cash in envelopes or knapsacks. 7. They get expensive trinkets like trips. 8. They get high consulting fees for doing nothing much. 9. They get a seat on a board that pays well for not much effort. Many retired politicians become lobbyists. It's all legal, so nobody bats an eye. Politicians create fake issues that are good for them and their cohorts, like military and security, while the regular people get almost no help from the government. A few hundred elitist politicians and their cohorts in the capital city set on a systematic program to scare us, pretending there is a big threat they have to protect us from that nets them loads of money for their personal bank accounts. Most people trust the government until they're suddenly in the crosshairs. How easy is it to get a tax audit then be accused of cheating on your taxes? It can happen to anyone. Are we free? Do governments help us? 6. If the government has its way, no private citizen can do anything about creating new bills or fighting the issues in Parliament. The only people with power are the political party leaders who tell their underling politicians what to do. Nobody else has any rights or power to determine the political course of the country. You have absolutely no power in determining what the government does, in deciding on new laws, or conversely how you can stop them from doing something not in the best interests of the people. You can talk to your local MP/senator or get 10 million people to sign a petition. So what? They have no legal obligation to listen to you, much less do what you say. You and everybody else is powerless unless you have lots of money to donate to the temporary dictator's campaign fund, or unless you can get together with a million other citizens in a direct protest at Parliament House and demand that the people have input, power, in choosing bills and voting on them. Do you feel that there is at least one politician in your political system that is urgently trying to help you improve your life? Our leader and his cabinet get chauffeured around to lots of social events where the booze and food are abundantly flowing and everybody is all dressed up, having a good ol' time. How can somebody do this while there are so many homeless people on the street? If you watch politicians during interviews where they talk about their personal lives, you can usually tell they live in a bubble, out of touch with the regular people who don't get a fat government check and special treatment all the time like they do. Everything is okay in their lives, so they can't understand and feel that the other guy needs help right now. This is the problem. We give the people's power to a few people who promptly become elitists in the bubble of their parliament, where they meet big-shot lobbyists from all walks of life who seduce them to the easy life on the inside, very far away from the common people. A politician is elected to help people, not to schmooze around with rich people so that they can hang around in a hot tub, scratching each other's backs.